Okay, it's technically lunchtime, but I've been in back to back to back to back to back meetings, like 3 meetings just, and now I have a little bit of some break time. There's going to be some construction going on outside. There's a big, huge cement truck blocking my driveway, so I got to leave here in a little bit. Hopefully that will be gone. Otherwise, bruh's going to have to move his little truck. It's a big truck, but he's going to have to move it. And neighbors redoing their driveway, which is something we're going to have to end up doing soon too, just to make it look better. Our driveway's all broken up because the original people, I think, brought in a big old RV or something. It's jacked up the concrete, so we gotta work on that, right? But that's not what this video is about. Be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below. I talked about, okay, one item. Got an Amazon delivery too. I've talked about the super blocks in downtown Tacoma. If you don't know what the super blocks are, people have long talked about this. A Tacoma-born German billionaire owned that land until recently, and it sold. Now, there was rumors that had gotten sold, and I heard people, Tacoma's a small city in many, many, many respects when it comes to gossip. And I make fun of the fact that we are stuck in the 1920s in some respects because of all these little hamlet laws. If you don't know what a hamlet is, it's smaller than a village. Hamlet usually has like 3 buildings, a small population, and you have a little bitty tiny group of people that kind of run everything. We have a lot, and there's excessive laws in some instances, right? So we have a lot of these excessive policies and laws that limit a lot of things, in my opinion. But all jokes aside, the super blocks are they're sold to a regional developer. Now, I don't know what that means. And I can figure out who that developer is, but right now don't know what it is or who it is or what the intention of that space is going to be. I don't know. I will say this, that this property, hopefully, and I don't know if they bought 2 of the sites, because there's 2 sites for sale. I don't know if they bought both or not. Hopefully we're not going to see a sea of mid-rises. If we see a sea of mid-rises, it's a waste of time. A waste of money, waste of land, waste of everything. If there's going to be nothing but 4 and 5 story buildings over that whole entire block, it's really a waste. If it's your typical construction that you see here in Tacoma, it's a huge missed opportunity. And it would not, I hate to sound pessimistic, but typically we don't really get the projects we deserve oftentimes, especially when it's a new build. There's such a lack of vision, and I'm trying to be positive because we don't know what it's going to be or what's going to be there, but something tells me that it's not going to be spectacular, and I hope I am wrong. It's a 3-acre area, right? Pretty decent size for our downtown that's available. It's just surface parking. And the other parcel back there is available as well. It's not nearly as big. They said this is big enough to basically be 1 million square feet of office space. Now, obviously, this guy sat on this property for way too long and did nothing with it. And the days of Amazon building towers everywhere is gone. Of course. The days of needing office space and a retailer or a large company coming in are kind of gone with the wind, right? Our biggest uses right now in Tacoma is residential. So 9 times out of 9, this is going to have residential as a heavy component. Offices are not in high use, even though our office vacancy rate is lower than it is in Bellevue. More than likely, it's not going to be offices. We've had a lot of office conversions. So even the folks in the Tribune, or not the Tribune, but the Business Journal even think that it's not going to probably be office. Sorry about that. A little sleepy, tired. Retail, we don't really get the love from that either. Even though good quality retail is hard to find at an affordable rate, I don't think so. Now, you know what my fantasy is? That's going to be my new word, is my fantasy. Is we have a developer that is really excited and that actually drives energy. And there's a few out there, meaning that they seek it out, develop a mall. Now, I know it's a fantasy, but if we could have shopping downtown, that would be nice. To be able to go someplace and buy clothing or buy some shoes, like Nike shoes or dress shoes or any of that stuff. It would be, I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't think people in Tacoma would be like, what? Like, you would have a bunch of people, if they built a mall that only had 10 stores in it, and you put that downtown and tell people, hey, Tacoma, we now have a little mini micro mall that has actual retail stores in it from national brands, not just mom and pops and Bob's and Jimmy's clothing company and Tiffany's, whatchamacallits, and, Mr. Rain Man's cookies. If we actually had some real national stores down there, I don't think that people in Tacoma would really even know what to do. Be like, what? What's this? Is this some sort of a prank? Honestly, I don't. There will be parking in this component, I'm sure. It's already a parking space. I'm very pessimistic, only because there is so much red tape. This city could wrap the planet 6 times with the amount of red tape that we produce every year on stuff. I don't really, excuse me, I don't really have a lot of high hopes. But what would be a fantasy is that there would be some sort of a mall component along with bowling alley, stuff to do. There's nothing to do down there. There's absolutely, unless you want to go and booze it up, there's nothing to do. More than likely, though, it's going to be mixed use. It's what I'm banking on. There might be a hotel, maybe, but we don't have enough hotels down here. If you look at Spokane, it's like, damn, really? Like, they got a mall down there. They have some name brand hotels. We got Marriott, which thankfully we have that, which has got some floors, but we have a suburban style Marriott next to a tall high-rise Marriott. We have, Hotel Murano, which is not really well known anyplace else, and that's real Holiday Inn. That's it. It's sad. We don't have any, they got DoubleTree and everything else. Not so much here. It'd be great if we had a name brand nice hotel. Bowling Green, Kentucky even got an Embassy Suites. They have a Hilton. They have a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, that's a town of 70,000 people. A university town. And it's not next to any other big city. So Nashville's like 65 miles away, but we have all those things. Hiltons and Embassy Suites and big, huge areas with polish. And I went to where my sister works at, and I'm like, what the heck is all this? Even though I was like, what's all this? Like, all of the one developer put in 1,000 units of apartments, townhomes, and everything in this big chunk of land. Now, they have a lot of land there, but this big area right in the heart of all the busy sections of the city, it's in that area. Built a whole new, like, her office is a big old medical building. I'm like, I don't see how you can walk all through this. It's basically a hospital. But it's a clinic, but it's damn near a hospital. Huge, brand new, weird, futuristic hotel. Then they have this place called Tony's, I believe, which is this high-end 5-star, super expensive restaurant, more expensive than the restaurants we have here. And that's in Bowling Green, damn Kentucky. Like, what? And here with the Hamlet laws and the Hamlet views we have, that will never happen. It would be great if we had something just a little bit like that, but I don't expect a building taller than 10 stories. Now, I could be wrong, and I will slap myself silly if I am wrong. I hope I am, but I don't envision anything grandiose about it. I just don't. I think we're going to get the bare basics. You're going to get a mid-rise where the bottom part's going to have some retail, but we're talking little bitty tiny squares and no plan to do anything with it. Just first come, whoever comes in, they'll get it, and that's cool. That's cool. Rental prices are going to be $40 a square, so that cuts out most people here who can't afford basics anyhow. And so now we're trying, because you're never going to get outside of the mall, you ain't going to get no name brand places to come in here. They'll go to Lakewood, they'll go to Puyallup, they'll go everywhere, but not down here. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. We can support, as a city financially, we can support high-end luxury boutique apartments. But for some damn reason, you can't get any sort of retail chains that will plop themselves downtown. I don't understand. I don't get it. But I don't expect that to happen. I'm hoping that we have something that is worthy. The town center right now is a major disappointment. I don't see them moving dirt or nothing. I just see basically one building that's done and a bunch of weeds and dirt. That's all I see, in some fencing. I don't see anything else. I don't know what the hang-up is. I don't know if they ain't got the money. I don't know what the problem is. The slow, antiquated time it takes to build this. I don't know. It's frustrating, right? We just don't have the right groups here. And I hope we have a good developer in this project. I hope we do. I mean, I can't get upset with Trent Development. Trent Development did well. You know, it's not mainly for the general public, but they have a pretty decent sized apartment project. And it's going to have a lot of amenities for, you know, people that live in the building. Topgolf Lounge and stuff like that. Or Topgolf Swing Suite, I'm sorry. But that doesn't help everybody else. Everybody else is just fresh out of luck. Okay, fine. All right. But it would be nice if we had a developer that's kind of forward thinking like that. And watching this cat, because they like to. It would be great if we had somebody like that literally doesn't just let vacant space stay vacant. Like, they're actively finding tenants that can go in this and work. Because it's up to the damn developer. The developer determines the price. That's what I don't understand. We're not going to get a Nordstrom Rack coming in, which we could support. Nordstrom Rack, Urban Outfitters. That's the honey sweet spot. Annie's, hell, Lush. We can support that downtown, but we have to have a developer that's like, you know what? I got to lower my prices because this market down here is untested right now. I can't expect $50 a square foot in an untested, nobody's going to take that. But if I lower it down to like 15 a square, go after some of these companies and say, hey, collectively, I want to bring in 50 different national retailers, from eateries to clothing stores to whatever. Entertainment, we need more entertainment downtown. That's not just for people who are old, but for young kids as well. Like, we don't have that. Now, I'm working on things to try to change that because there's so many gaps that we have. But like, there's nothing. And we don't have the political might or the political thought to say, you know what, hey, this site's for sale. It'd be great if we had more politicians voicing their truth, what they would like to see in the city. It would probably encourage a lot of businesses to actually come into the city. I've been able to get businesses to look at the city, and I'm a nothing. If we had actual people who were voted in or whatever, stand behind it and say, you know what, we really want to see these things happen here, you might have it, because a lot of companies are like, well, we want to know that they really want us there. They don't want to invest money, and then the city's like, we don't like it because they're a nightclub, which is something we lack. There's only 2 nightclubs downtown. Both are gay nightclubs. Nothing against that. But if you want to have any, as far as any other type of nightclub, don't exist. After Emblem left, that was it. We don't have nightclubs. We don't have bowling alleys where people can, and bowling alleys around town just sell out. You can't even get no space. Like that would be great. It would give people a reason to come downtown versus just to stay. We're gonna live down there, but there's nothing to do. It's so ass backwards. Like, okay, I'm not gonna complain anymore. I will complain, but I will say this: it would be great if we had a project that really encompassed a lot of different things. Residential, some parking, be something that the town center is claiming it's going to do, but literally put in some actual retail space, not something as big as some people's houses. That's how much retail space the town center is going to bring. Is nothing. Basically nothing. You're asking for mom and pops to go in, but the price is so astronomical. And then the thought is, well, people in Tacoma don't shop. And it's like, that's completely nonsense. We have to have a project that makes sense. And the retail side of things the price has to be lower for us to get more people into it. I've said it until I literally turned to a white man. I talk about it until I'm white, and it's never going to sink in. There are other people who have said the exact same thing. You gotta lower prices. We're getting more and more people to move downtown. That's great. You gotta lower the prices for retail. It is what it is. And yet people will still talk about what they want to do versus what the public is saying. Damn, this is what we need. I talk about this even to my boss. Like, it's not about what you necessarily may think. It's about what the we thinks. And like I said, like in my own opinion, I really would think this would be a great catalyst for downtown as well. We have a lot of forward momentum. And if offices are not something they're wanting to build, cool. I do think there should be office in this. I do. We don't have enough modern. The problem is not that we can't fill office space. We have buildings that are older than I am that we're using for office space. They're old, they're out of style, they're not beautiful. You go to Bellevue, glass everywhere. You go to Seattle, glass and modern. If we had an actual developer that's serious and put in a modern office building, yeah, I'm sure you'd get some more attraction. But we have stuff that looks like what you have in Albuquerque. It's just stale, boring, and bland. The only glass building I've seen of modern times is the Marriott Hotel. And when they say they're going to put glass on it, I'm like, really? Huh. That's interesting. Because we just don't do that. Everything is just cladded with wood. Most things are built out of wood. And this fake plasticky stuff on the outside. It's just very uninspiring. Right? We just have the city looks old, doesn't look advanced at all. So then we're wanting to get tech companies to come in. And it's like, this is just old and antiquated. Why would they want to? And along with the Hamlet views, it's just not going to happen. So hopefully this can be a project where it actually energizes downtown. It energizes Tacoma, hopefully. This is a project that is not just a bunch of parking and a bunch of wooden 5-story suburban apartments. You know, there's only 2 projects going on right now that broke the 10-story and higher. One's 10-story, the other's 11. I'm like, right? Even those I might be okay with. If it's, a couple of 10 and, nothing under double digits, then I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Even if you throw in some parking under there. Put 3 levels of parking. As long as that sucker goes up past 10 stories, it would look better. Yeah, the tallest building is right next door. It's our chance as a city to say, okay, that building has held that title for long as I've been alive, I think. Why don't we do something now after 40 years that can top it out? Well, let's have a taller building. I don't know. That would be awesome. Build at the same height and put up a little spire. That helps. Anything would be great. We'll see what happens, but it's interesting that this parcel sold so quickly. It's interesting that sandwiched in between there is DeVita, which is probably going to be turned into boutique residential. And then you have a nice office building that's right behind that, our tallest building, which is still not that tall. It'd be very interesting to see. I have been in cities where they couldn't go higher in terms of height because of airport. It's too close to the airline or to the airport where it affected flight patterns. We ain't got none of that. There's no restrictions other than Hamlet views and laws. There's no restrictions. So to my understanding, so there should be some height going into this, hopefully. Then hopefully it's something that does have entertainment that's available for all ages. There's supposed to be an esports arena going into the town center. That was scrapped whenever the first developer didn't have the money. The others are just building it just to build it and say, we're done. This would be great if this is actually going to have a lot of cool things that bring people to downtown as opposed to just living. Anyone can do that. This space here is so valuable and they paid a lot of money. Hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully they put in something that is going to really make us excited about downtown. Hopefully. There's a lot of other things going on, don't get me wrong, that makes downtown exciting. But I'm hoping with this hole, which has disconnected our downtown, to be honest with you, for the longest time, it's been a big disconnect. It's on the most major road we have downtown, which is Pack Avenue. Hopefully, with all the other things going on, that this can be something that is going to really be energetic, where people are like, I'm going downtown to hang out. I'm not going on 6th Avenue. I'm not going over to Ruston. I'm going downtown. That's where I'm going, like most cities in this country do. Most cities, unless it's a downtown that people have abandoned for whatever reason. That's not even the case here. Some cities, like, you go to Atlanta, it's mainly just corporate financial stuff right in their downtown. Uptown is where all the action is. We ain't got none of those. Right? We just have bouginess when you go over past downtown and go towards the northwest. And then we got kind of eclectic going down 6th Avenue. The Dome District is the Gnome District. Nobody wants to really go over there. So we have an opportunity here. And then the brewery blocks is doing the best they can. They're doing a great job. Town Center, don't know. Literally, it's like, I don't know what's going on there. This is an opportunity for us to really have a developer that's got the money, that hopefully has the vision to bring something to the table that is worthy, in my opinion. These other projects are going in are great. These other residential projects, that's good. But if you look at our skyline, it's a bunch of little smidgy buildings all along the hillside. Just these little bitty, tiny little buildings. Right? And we have a few towers. It's an impressive skyline. No doubt about it, but it doesn't really stand out. Doesn't really get a lot of notice because I-5 runs where it is. Our downtown would be better suited if it was right there by the Dome and the Dome was up where the downtown is. It'd be better suited if that was the case. That's not the case. So people don't even know Tacoma exists. When you're on the interstate and clogged in traffic, you can't even really see downtown that well. But it'd be great if we had something at night. We were going to do the Spire, the Tacoma Spire. Maybe this developer can find it in their wheelhouse to do something like that. Something that will set us apart. If we had an observation deck of some sort, which is baffling that we don't. If we look at all the water views and the mountain. We don't have an observation deck of any kind. If there was a building that could literally break 20 stories and literally, I'm sure the mayor would pass out. If they said, hey, here, they're going to put a 20-story building, I'm sure she'd be in the hospital. Be like, what? If we had something like that where people can go up to the top of that thing and look out and take pictures, that would bring people to downtown. But we just don't have the people who have the vision to do it. It's not they don't have the money, they do. We just don't have the people that have the vision. Everything goes up to Seattle or Bellevue. Hope to God and whatever else you believe in that this can be something that really can A, get completed, B, gives us what Tacoma deserves. What do you guys think? Tell me what your thoughts are. Be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, I will see you. Take care.